they thrive on crisis being in certain places, because that's how they can make their money. That's how they can have unfettered access to the resources that they need to steal. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Zain, and on this channel I react to videos that interest me. So if that sounds like your thing, please make sure you subscribe right now and give this video a big thumbs up, because I urge you are going to enjoy it. Lots are happening in Congo, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, in Sudan, in many places all over the world, and lots of people do not know about it, and there's no attention put on those places. Again, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There are some people who, whenever you see crisis in certain parts of the world, many different parts of the world, especially places that are rich in certain resources, then there are some people that you will always find there. And they thrive on crisis being in certain places, because that's how they can make their money. That's how they can have unfettered access to the resources that they need to steal. Because see, if there's security in a country, if the nation is flourishing, if the government is working the way it should work, if things are running right, then when you come from wherever you come from and you ask that you want to mine some of the resources in the country, then the government will be able to take into account lots of things. And some of those things include the safety of the people around, some of the negative effects of your mining activities, and the health repercussions of those on the citizens. And they'll tell you to put certain measures in place to ensure that there are no negative effects, or at least there are reduced negative effects on the citizens around them. And that all of that costs money. And many people who are just demonic capitalists, I do not have a problem with capitalism at all. I have a problem with demonic capitalists, because they do not want to, they only care about the money they want to make, and they do not want to remove out of that money by putting measures in place to prevent harm from coming to people, harm that are coming to those people only because of their own activities, in a bid to make their money. But they don't care, they only want to make their money, regardless of who gets killed, who gets hurt, the short-term and the long-term repercussions on the people around them. They really do not care, they just want to make their money. So the best way for them to make their money and not have to spend out of that money by putting measures in place to protect the people around them from their own activities is to ensure that there is insecurity in that area. When there's insecurity in that area, when there's unrest, when the government is unable to see, when the government is fighting to bring back stability to the region, and just avert trouble and take care of its people, then those people will be able to have unfettered access to the resources. They'll be able to steal and steal and steal and pack and get out, which is why there seems to be crisis in one region of the world or another in many cases. I'm not saying this is what happens in every single case, but in many cases this is what happens. So you have things like blood diamonds. That's why it exists. That's why you notice that there are some people who are always present in certain regions of the world whenever there's unrest. And if there's no unrest in a certain region of the world that they want to go, they will go there and create unrest. And then the people who want to still be able to steal, because they are all in each other's pockets. The demonic capitalists and the politicians, everybody, they help one another. Okay, we all know that. And again, I'm not just speaking out of thin air. All of these things are easily verifiable. I know I haven't mentioned any specific names here. It's deliberate, but it's all verifiable. You don't even have to do any deep research or any deep journalistic analysis or investigation. You don't need all that. Just look around you, listen and think, and you'll understand what I'm saying. But let's listen to what's happening in DRC.
Attention for the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It is a vast country, well. A country that contains multitudes. So, as you say, one of the largest displacement crisis in the world today. Over 7 million people displaced. Huge conflict, particularly in the east of the country, with scores of armed groups and international armies fighting.
When I was talking a few seconds ago, I'm sure somebody was saying, "Oh, what's this girl saying?" Now, my question is, what are international armies doing there? Is it just to help against the conflicts? Or do they have a different agenda? I'm going to leave you to figure it out yourself.
Which displaces people and puts people at risk. And at the same time, unbelievable wealth of resources, critical for our energy transition for the world. The lungs of Africa, as it's called, and it's also one of the biggest carbon sinks in the world. So the DRC should play a much more important, critical role for the international community, and it should get attention and the support its population deserves. Support the peace process. There has to be peace in the DRC to really have sustainable development and support for its population, in particular the many, many millions of children.
In particular, they will only support the peace protest if it serves their agenda. If it does not serve their agenda yet, they won't support it yet. They will support it when it begins to serve their agenda, not a moment before. That's the way people work. Like I always say, politicians are politicians are politicians, always. And they have a signature. So.
Support the peace process that's running. Make sure men with guns come to the table and agree that this is no way to support this great country, and then really put.
They don't want the country to be supported. They don't want the country to flourish. How will they make their money if the country flourishes? If there's peace, how?
Funding behind the work in Congo. Currently, the humanitarian resource plan for the DRC is funded, I think, by 17%. So 17% of the required funding, that's an estimation of the United Nations, is currently funded. So that gives you a sense of how big the gap is between what is needed and what we actually have. I was visiting an IDP camp there in the east last week, and Save the Children was literally the only humanitarian organization in that particular camp of 20,000 people who were displaced who was actively providing some services there. And that is really a rare sight.
Again, what else can we expect? It's a shame what's happening, but shout out to them again for calling attention to DRC and what's going on in there. I feel like, there are lots of things going on all over the world that people don't really pay attention to. When people pay attention to certain issues, of course, those issues should be given attention, but also other issues should also be given attention as well. Because all humans deserve their dignity, their right to life. Children deserve to be given a safe space to grow without experiencing trauma, without seeing their parents die in front of them. And they don't deserve all of that. It's unbelievable what's going on, and I heard what's happening in Sudan as well is unbelievable, unfreaking believable. But anyway, shout out to them once again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me till the very end. If you've not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe right now and leave a comment below. I'd love to read your thoughts. Thank you once again, and I will see you next time.